Hi everybody, I'm Dr. Deed Harrison here of Chiropractic BioPhysics Seminars and Technique and Chiropractic BioPhysics Nonprofit, our spine research organization. We always have new guests, exciting information, brand new research, and clinical practice tidbits for you guys out there. Welcome to the Chiropractic BioPhysics podcast. Hey everybody from podcast land, this is Dr. Deed Harrison, President and CEO of Chiropractic BioPhysics and President of Chiropractic BioPhysics Nonprofit, our spine research foundation. It is Tuesday, February 17th that we're recording this. I don't know when you're going to hear it, but that's the date that it is. I have two partners in crime with me. We have Dr. Joe Ferrantelli, the Italian with an I. And then we have Dr. Jason Jaeger, the German without it. Well, he does have a G in there, doesn't he? In Jaeger. Yeah. Yeah. So, hey guys, how you doing?
Good.
Doing
good.
great.
How you doing?
How are you, Deed?
I'm excited, but I'm tired. And I'm not physically tired, but I'm mentally tired, but I'm okay. But I want to talk to you about why I'm tired.
Hey, Deed, why are you tired?
Well, let's get into that later.
Well, I think he's tired because he has a big, huge tooth around his neck. Did you see how big that is?
It's not a tooth. It's a claw.
Claw, tooth. You know what? It will hurt you. That's basically it.
I know you Floridians don't understand what.
We know it looks like an alligator tooth, so that's all that matters, right?
So it's a grizzly bear claw, and it's very special. My good friend, Dan Thompson, not a chiropractor, but a good personal friend. You guys have met Dan.
Yep.
Dan's great.
He actually was my personal trainer here at Ideal Spine Health Center, and he's been a tech CA, rehab tech CA for me in CBP offices. He worked with Joe Betts as well, but he's an avid hunter like me, and he and his dad went on a very special bear hunt up in Alaska, all sanctioned. And, people don't understand, why you would bear hunt, but I don't want to get into that. But I couldn't make it, but he and his dad went. And they both got beautiful grizzly bears. And Dan's a taxidermist, and Dan's he's an outdoorsman. He uses everything from he eats the meat to the saves the cape to saves everything. And he took the claws, and for special people in his life, and I happen to be lucky enough to be one. For Christmas, he got me this cool grizzly bear claw, which, it symbolizes the honor and respect between friends, but also of just being part of the world at large and respecting the animal, if you will. And I've got a healthy fear of grizzly bears, and I think someday I might die by one in the mountains. So if I wear this, maybe when I'm being charged, they'll go, oh, well, he's a bear too. So, I'm trying to cover the bases with it, but it's just a, cool thing that makes me remember my friends from different walks of life. But before I get into me, how are you guys doing?
Good. Just getting ready. Obviously, we have our hands-on seminar that we're going to be doing at your facility this weekend. And then because, Florida is right next to Eagle, Idaho, I have to fly there early in the morning. And it's, when people complain, then I have to fly back only to fly out to Las Vegas for Parker 2 days later. So my body won't know what time zone I'm in comes Wednesday, but I'm going to do everything we can because we got some amazing things to show off at Parker for sure.
Yeah, lots of good stuff. I'm doing well too, guys. Thank you so much. I'll be running that same schedule. I'll be coming up to Boise on Thursday, and there'll be a good chunk of the CBP instructor team with you to do, I think, maybe one of or our favorite seminar, hands-on workshop, where we get to take everything from application in the general certification, the 70 to 80 hour coursework that we do during what we call the week long, and then say, all right, show us, apply it, prove it. And then turn around, get ready for Parker. Today I was Joe Ferrantelli's personal concierge, picking up his televisions and
Oh, that's
floor
right.
mats.
That's right. Yes, because I got to have a look and feel of you think that your job and responsibility for chiropractic is important, or flying out and doing things for deed. Really, it's being my concierge, getting my floor ready, getting my TV. Now, are you going to set up my TV for me as well too?
Well, we'll see. I am
Okay.
here to please you, Dr. Ferrantelli, and make sure that your world is perfect. So it's all
I
coming
I
together.
I mean, I got standards, Deed. I mean, I got these standards that I have to do, and they just can't provide these any other way. So, I'm just kidding. Thank you so much, Jason.
Oh, it's my pleasure. And then once in a while, my kid ends up getting a TV out of it, so
But
it's not a
yeah,
bad deal.
if he wants this one, you can take it back afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah. You're funny. Here's the thing. We're going to talk about Parker and the hands-on workshop, but I just want everybody to know, and you to know, Jason, that Joe just lied to everybody on here. He said in 2 days he has to turn around and fly.
Okay.
He doesn't go home until Sunday from the hands-on workshop, and then he flies on Wednesday. That is not 2 days. I mean, Joe is
I
notorious
get
for making it sound more
so
painful
I
than
get
it really
back
is.
late on Sunday night, probably at 11 o'clock, and then I will sleep from 11 to 6 o'clock in the morning. And I count that as Monday and then Tuesday, and then get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go back so a little bit longer. So you're just a little
Common
technical.
Core math, Joe. Common
Hey,
Core.
hey, if it makes me look like I'm struggling a little bit more for sympathy, that's what I go for.
Right. Perfect. So here's the deal. We do have a couple busy weeks. We have this weekend, this coming Friday through Sunday, we have the CBP Hands-On Workshop at the Ideal Spine Health Center, the CBP Doctor Institute, where I'm currently at. And you guys are both coming out. Like you said, Jason, it's literally one of my favorite events to do because we get to see, can you actually do CBP in a very structured manner with real cases. Like we walk you through, hey, here's the case. How are you going to do the mirror image exercise, the mirror image traction? Specifically, we make people do the traction in detail because that's one of the ones people struggle on. Everything from spondylolisthesis correction with Dr. Curtis Fedorchuk and the new system from him and Dr. Miles Fortner. That'll be covered. We cover mirror image exercises with you, Jason, and Joe. We cover the posture ray, posture screen, but using it,
Yeah.
like not just looking at it. No, you use it, and then also we do hands-on mirror image adjusting for the doctors. Now the staff has to be adjusted, but the doctors are doing it, and we monitor them and say, hey, let's see what you're good at, and this is where you're making mistakes. And it's a very important process. It's the only seminar we restrict to a number of people. The most I ever allow is 35 people, and usually it's 30. And the reason is we just can't do it with more than 30 to 35 people. It's not fair to everybody else. It's not like I don't want 60 people here. That being said, there's, always people, it's such a popular seminar, they want to just come to that. But the answer is no, you can't come to that because we're actually seeing whether or not you know CBP. So it's like, well, I want to come to the hands-on workshop as my first one. I'm like, no, you
Huh.
don't,
No.
because you will just sit there and be lost. I'm not going to teach you the 6 other courses during that time, right? And people, they don't understand that. So there is a requisite that you have to have taken modules 1, 2, and 2 of the rehab courses. It's better if you took them all, but we have you take at least 4 CBP modules of the first 6, 1, 2, and then you get your choice of 4, 5, and 6. You have to pick 2 of those. Then I'll let you come to the hands-on workshop, right?
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
it's a great event. But the other problem is, I mean, I get this all the time. Part of it is because I limit the size, but then people are like, well, I haven't been to that yet because I don't want to go to Eagle, Idaho. Why don't you come to wherever I live and do it here? And I'm like, you have no idea what you're asking. You don't have the setup we have. To get all the equipment there and to do the course like we do it, it's just not,
It's
it's not reason
impossible. We can't
it's
even
not
do it.
reasonable.
We can't even do it at a school or a college because they don't have enough of the equipment for what we cover.
Right. And it's not all located in the same area where I have a professional screen and, you guys have seen it. So I get a little frustrated with you, and you know who you are. If you're listening to this out there, you're like, well, just come to me. And I'm like, some things just don't work that way in life. And, I do travel. It's not that I don't travel. It's just I'm not willing to bring my office to you. My 12,000 square foot facility doesn't fit in an airplane.
Yeah.
And you guys know that it's challenging. And I understand doctors don't want to travel that much, but hey, 1 or 2 trips a year, get
Yeah,
over it. The way
honestly,
it is.
I have no
Yeah.
sympathy. I mean, we travel so much. When somebody says they don't want to fly somewhere, like honestly, I'm calling you all out. I have zero sympathy. I have none because how much, I fly a lot, and Deed and you, Jason, fly even more than me. And so when people say it's difficult, I look at it like flying from Florida to Boise. That's not difficult. That's actually an easy trip, and I just always get a kick out of it. Oh, I don't want to do that, or it's so hard. Really? No, it's not. It's your headspace. You're making up excuses. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's all it is. And for a little bit, we did the hands-on workshop at Jason Haas's clinic in Windsor, Colorado. But still, we didn't have everything that you had in Elko, and we certainly didn't have everything that we have with your clinic in Eagle. And frankly, if people really want to see how it's done, they need to come to Eagle. My biggest learning point and then frustration is during the general week long, we teach hands-on. And then 6 months or a year or 2 years later, someone comes back and they say, "Hey, how do you do that?" And I went, I'll say to them, I personally showed you that in a hands-on breakout station in group sizes of like 10 to 15 people. What do you mean you're asking me to do this?" And that's just because you can never get enough hands-on. And to hear you lecture, and you're my favorite lecturer in the world, I'm not blowing smoke, but to hear you lecture on it versus then having you go into the gym at ISHC and say, "Show me," it's a
Right.
completely different experience. So hands-on workshop, hands down, one of my very favorites.
Yeah, it's one of mine as well too, because it really puts people through their paces. It needs to be on everybody's agenda. It's really good.
Yeah. And when you said your favorite instructor, you were referring to Joe Ferrantelli, right?
No.
Absolutely, because you carry my TV and flooring for Parker.
Right. So my point is, and I don't want to sound arrogant with this, but I just have to say it like I think, because I designed the vast majority of traction protocols for CBP, like how to do each thing and what's needed in this category. I have a unique, different understanding because it's not just, oh, somebody taught me. No, I intimately developed it, and I just have a unique mind for that idea. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I also know the mistakes I made in my 20 plus years of practice, and I can look at a setup based on the patient's x-ray and posture, and I can tell you what's wrong. And I can look at it and go, you're not going to be happy with that outcome. And that's the thing. You're being intimately trained, and it's not just me. You guys have developed that level of understanding now too, because you've taken this course, I don't know, 20 times. So you've seen it, but I always try to throw something new if I can, which is very hard. But even the top CBP doctors, I've caught them making mistakes, and not like major, oh my God, that's never going to work, but a nuance that's like, oh, that explains why these have been coming out this way. And so it's really for everybody to hone their skills. And, it's no different than when you ask Bruce Lee how he became the master. Yeah, he practiced the fundamentals. He practiced and he coached and he practiced and he trained. Well, you don't know the mistakes you're making until a coach that can looks at it and says, hey, great job in this, this, and this, but let me show you that this little area, this is wrong, quite frankly.
Yeah,
And
100%.
that's the beauty of the hands-on workshop, which is I mean, it's very important that people come out to it and bring their staff members. But unfortunately, we have to limit it in size, but we do it twice a year. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe we'll be 4 times a year at some point, but it's a great one.
Yeah. Yep. So then, and I would do it in other locations at a practice like mine. Number one, you have to have all the equipment. Number two, you have to have an area designed for me to lecture and show. And that's what people don't have. Like I have these areas broken up for a reason that we can all train and use the equipment in a very space effective and you don't feel cramped, you know?
Mhm.
So the other thing is we have Parker seminars coming up next week, and you guys alluded to it by your being Joe's little AI assistant.
Yeah.
Um, the thing is, you look real, Jason. But um, we have Parker coming up. Really, it starts Thursday, goes through Saturday next week, and I'm super excited to be there and have a booth. But I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a bit frustrated that I can't get back on the speaking platform at Parker seminars. And I think they're amazing. They've really done a great job in turning themselves around because of what happened in maybe from about 2010 to
Mhm.
2000, maybe it was 2012 to 2020. They really dropped, but they've really done a great job under the tutelage guidance of Dr. Bill Morgan there and some other team players. Parker's looking great, but man, I'm like, why can't I get on as a speaker? Like, am I not well known enough? Am I not credible enough? Do I not have enough publications in the scientific literature? I mean, it's really challenging. I've submitted my application every year to speak at Parker for the next year, and I don't even get a response. It's crazy. But anyway,
Well,
I'm still
let's
excited.
put it out there to Dr. Bill Morgan. I just sent him a note yesterday and told him how great I thought Parker has been under his tutelage, and I was excited to see him the next week. And Dr. Morgan, why don't we get one of chiropractic's top researchers on the main stage at Parker in an upcoming event? That'd be wonderful. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, yeah, and it's not that there's not other top researchers out there, but I think I'm very unique. I mean, it's rare to find somebody with my number of publications and my H index and the breadth of publications that we do, and so I'd love to get back on with Parker, and really it's selfish too to expose CBP
Mhm.
to a number of chiropractors, but that's what we have to do, right? Um, and of course, I wouldn't be promoting; I'd be teaching. But I'd love to do that, and maybe we get Dr. Bill Morgan on this podcast and have a great conversation with him about, hey, what's Parker doing? What's the
Yep.
university doing? How's it going? And to be direct, we've CBP has published many papers in the Parker Scientific Journal,
Yes.
which is the editor is Dr. Dana Lawrence, and it's called the Journal of Contemporary Chiropractic. And Paul and I were at one point their most published authors in that journal. It's not a PubMed journal, but it's a peer-reviewed journal that's indexed. It's just not indexed in PubMed yet. But we've published a lot of papers in there. And I think you guys have probably been published in that journal too, in the Journal of Contemporary Chiropractic.
Yep.
Yes, I have.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. So we're supporting that journal through good quality submissions, and they're good enough to make the grade for formal publication, which is huge. I am looking forward to Parker. But I can tell you I will be a little. I'm, I can't hide it, man. I'm a human. I'm
Yeah.
a little bit jaded that I haven't gotten to speak.
Yeah.
Like in the last 15 years at Parker, and I love the ideas at Parker. I love the presenters. I love the connections that we all make
Mhm.
there. We've made some very good connections there, and I look forward to the ones we're going to make this year. So
Yeah,
super cool.
and it really has. I have to give them kudos. It's really, really come back. As you know, we've been a vendor at Parker, gosh, for like a decade. And we've only been doing even more and more with them at the events. Hence why Dr. Jason is dropping off my big TV. But It's really the last few years have been pretty amazing at that conference. So yeah, I'd love to get him on the podcast, Jason, and talk about Parker's vision and everything like that in the future for sure. I kind of
Yeah.
like how I kind of like how we talk about what we're gonna do, some housekeeping on the podcast at all. The
Why
inside
not?
baseball. It's inside baseball.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, let me show you guys my other Christmas gift because I'm drinking this camouflage coffee cup.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, my stepdaughter and son-in-law got this for me with their grandchild. It says Papa. I don't know if you can read that,
Yeah.
but
Yep.
it's backwards for me. I don't know if you can read it.
No, it's
Yeah.
the right way for us.
But then there's a logo on the other side that she had made for me, but it didn't show up. So I had her send me the JPEG, and I had it turned into a sticker so you could see it. And then I added something pretty fun to it. And I just want you to see if you can see that.
Go a little bit to your left.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see a big bull elk and a mountain background, and I can't read the words.
Yeah. So, you know, my basically it's I would call her my stepdaughter. She's she's a really talented graphic design individual, by the way. She does marketing things, but she's not as crude as me. So I put a little header up there that says "Nature makes me horny," and you can take that two ways. I mean, there's antlers, horns on the elk, or you can take it in the dirty deed way, whatever way you want to take it. But and by the way, I'm going to turn this into some fun T-shirts if you guys would like one. So anyway, that's my other Christmas gift, and the reason is because you know how everybody you set your coffee cup down and
Yep.
you wonder which is yours. Well, you can't mistake mine.
Yeah, we know which one is Papa's. And Deed, you'll remember this, Joe. I don't think you had this conversation with your dad when you were a little boy, but when we were little boys and our dads were teaching us how to hunt and gun safety and what animals have a horn and what animals have an antler. Yeah, I remember making that mistake when we were hunting muley deer in Nevada. Where I'd say, Dad, look at the size of that deer's horns, and he'd like, no, son, they're antlers. Um, but I like how you wrote that because nature making me antlery doesn't work.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't. Yeah, you're
Now
right.
the only thing I saw with that it basically that inspired me looking at that photo. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to get back in Ski Deer Valley. That's what I thought.
Oh, oh yeah. See, there's a reason I showed it. I'm not promoting hunting or anything on this show. I'm just trying to make you think about nature and being outdoors.
Yep.
So anyway, Parker, hey, we're super excited to go to Parker seminars, and it's almost a way we're kicking off our year after the hands-on workshop. And then, you know, normally when I do these podcasts, I'm at home and I'm not dressed real. You guys usually are dressed professional. I usually wear a ball cap and a t-shirt, right? And I'm usually drinking a glass of wine because it's the end of the night. And now we're changing the time to work for us. And I'm down here at the Ideal Spine Health Center where I've been really consistently every day for the last month, and I have to be for the next 6 months. And it's why I'm getting used to this. I always work, but what I'm doing is I'm trying to get the CBP Diplomate Program done and complete. And so I want to talk about that. Yeah, it's a big deal. And both of you were instrumental in this. Jason, you were really instrumental in getting this the sponsorship through the ICA. I don't even remember when it got approved, but I can tell you I'm late getting it done
Eight
because
years.
it's been 8 years. Yeah. So it doesn't seem like that to me because it's my workload, right? And we get caught up in the moment. I get caught up on this and caught up on that. And I'm actually now, because I'm putting my time into this, I'm behind in my research projects with Professor Ibrahim Mustafa. So now I have to apologize to him, and I got to get caught up there. So it's a juggling act. Um, but what I'm trying to do is really get all this done. I want to share this with you and remind you what it's all about. and the amount of work that I've been doing, and we can discuss this because I really hope the profession is going to like this, especially the CBP community, because it truly is a diplomate status program that's endorsed through the ICA. And then secondarily, I need to rediscuss with Life University, but originally Dr. Gilles Lamarche and the former president, Dr. Rob Scott, had informed me that we could get a educational certificate for the course through Life University, which is a huge deal. And so I need to get back on, I need to reconfirm that part, but the ICA diplomate is 100% done. And the fun thing is because it's 8 years old, I just talked with Dr. Joe Betts, the president of the ICA,
Yep.
and he informed me that it's still approved, but because of Deed's subtle delay, I mean, I'm
Subtle.
gonna call 8 years a subtle delay.
It's subtle, totally
I
subtle.
mean,
I mean,
it's not.
it's like a blink of an eye.
Yeah, it goes by fast when you're our age. So I have to resubmit the course outline for final approval, but it's going to be approved because it's all on the up and up.
Yep. Can oh, just before you move on, can you stress the importance of why a diplomat is truly important in the profession? Because I know because of our state laws here in Florida, but can you kind of either one of you tee it off there before you go on so they know?
Yeah, so I don't do all the talking. I know the answer to that question, but I'm going to do a lot of talking here. Dr. Jason Jaeger, if you want to talk about what's the why of having a diplomate.
Yeah. So here's the relevance. So there's a few things. I'm going to use Nevada as an example, as one of the 50 states. And the United States is like 50 countries. Okay. So there's 50 jurisdictions, and it's what you can say you are. So if you graduate from an accredited chiropractic school, you can say you're a doctor of chiropractic. If you did a doctorate program in the United States, when you've passed your postgraduate testing and then got your license. What you can't hold yourself out as special. You can't be
Mm-hmm.
special. You can't be special ed. Haha. You can't be
Yep.
certified.
Yep.
Even a fellowship, like we call our basically at the end of our 200 hours of general certification and advanced certification, we internally privately refer to ourselves as fellows. But can you say that with to the public? And the answer is no, you can't. Now a diplomate is a postgraduate certification with a robust amount of hours. Usually it's going to come through either one of the state or one of the national associations. The ICA, for example, is the diplomat for chiropractic biophysics. And we're going to talk about it being 300 hours, 400 hours in those range of postgraduate training. But it's butts in seat training, it's home study training, it's taking a written exam, it's doing a practical exam, and then you're certified independently by a group of your peers, not the training entity, right? There needs to be some removal from that. So, Dee, do you want to add anything to what I've said for the diplomat program?
No, that's it. And the other thing from a med legal perspective, and this is strictly speaking in the United States, I don't know the other national laws, right? Or what we'd call the international laws. By national laws, I mean if you're in some country, that you got to check that out. But in the United States, from a med legal perspective, if I'm working on a patient after a motor vehicle crash collision, and I'm this and this and this credentialed, and I have a CBP diplomate, if you bring in somebody that is not trained in CBP, it's really, they don't have the credibility and the knowledge to critique and
Exactly.
counter what I'm doing. They don't have the same training. And so it's like me trying to testify that the neurosurgeon didn't do surgery correctly as a chiropractor. It's not,
Exactly.
it's not as bad, but it's quite similar. The analogy is there. So you have to have the same training, not just being a chiropractor. This chiropractor is a diplomate in this information
That's
and
right.
in this technique system. And then yeah, so there's really strong reasons to pursue the diplomate. And then the other
Yes.
thing is, with it being hopefully approved and credited as an advanced course series through Life University. Now it has university level backing as well. So those are the real reasons. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
exactly
and that
right.
it yeah, that's a really big deal, especially in the med legal world, because obviously, anybody that does that work, usually the defense likes I would say we're the guys that are taking care of the patient, because it doesn't matter to us, personal injury is just how they pay for their case, right? It doesn't change anything in our type of practice with a CBP doctor. They still document everything that we do. Everything is the same. PI is just how they pay. Insurance is just how they pay instead of paying cash or whatnot. But the difference is definitely I can speak, very much on this, because when I was in practice, I would get these defense medical exam doctors that literally would say stuff it was complete and utter opinion, but they didn't even know what they didn't know. Like it was really just total nonsense. So it's really important.
Yep. So that allows you to hold yourself out in a court of law, in an arbitration case, in a deposition, truly as an expert. You can be certified as an expert. And Joe, you touched on an important point that I wanted to elaborate on. Each of us have healthcare licenses. We're doctors of chiropractic. So we can say, based on my experience and in my opinion, but when we hold a diplomat, the diplomat certified individual will hold more weight than that general chiropractor who states in their opinion.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely.
Especially when it's involved with CBP technique. It's
Hmm.
very rare that, and I don't know any other named technique on its own that has been given and awarded a diplomate status. And people go, "Oh no, there's a diplomate in Gonstead." I go, "It's not through the ICA or ACA or a university. It's through the Gonstead organization." So, and then you go, "Well, the upper cervical diplomate." And I go, "Well, that's not a technique.
Hmm.
That's all of them put together. And it's the entire upper cervical work has a diplomate program." But I'm going to tell you, ours is more robust. So you guys helped me design this, but I've refined it in order to keep the hours reasonable and in order to keep the costs kind of controlled. I just want to share with you guys and with the rest of the world what the vision is for this. And this will be, uh, uh, you know, I have to submit this again. It's the same thing I've already submitted, but I took out a couple sections to make it more palatable. So number one, CBP has a general certification. That's step one. And that's the first 7 modules. So, it's pretty easy. It's modules 1 through 7. They go, "Well, how do I know what module it is?" Well, it's module 1, 2, 3, 4,
There's
5, 7, right? And just to remind you, it's X-ray and posture, really X-ray analysis, module 1, mirror image drop table and postural analysis, module 2, instrument adjusting, handheld instrument, and upper cervical mirror image adjusting for full spine posture, etc. Module 3, cervical rehab, module 4, lumbar rehab, module 5, thoracic rehab, module 6. And then the 7th one, which we've already said, is the hands-on workshop. Well, the stumbling block has been getting people to take all these in order, right? I mean, they take them sporadically throughout the year, and this is why we created the CBP week long to fast track you to general certification, which covers the modules 1 through 6, little bit of 7. So we go ahead and certify you with the test at the end, but we still ask you to take module 7 later, because module 7 is really important. It's like, okay, after you've done CBP, do you still know how to do it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's general certification. Those courses are required for the ICA diplomate in CBP, the CBP ICA diplomate. Well, we also have the advanced certification. The advanced certification, you can take the courses before you take the general certification. But the idea is that you should probably have training with the first 7 courses before you jump into the advanced to make it understandable. So we have 7 other modules, and we call those modules 8 through 14. And they do cover different advanced topics, right? And it's pediatrics, it's posture and neurology with Dr. Dan Murphy.
Right.
It's the advanced full spine analysis, understanding pelvic morphology and thoracic inlet morphology and full spine complex deformities with me. And you guys do that. And Joe Betts does it with me.
Right.
We have the biomechanics course, which is very important, that, really teaches you a watered down course in university biomechanics without the equation, but with a lot of the other understanding. That's done by Paul Oakley and I. And then we have scoliotic deformity with myself and Dr. Joe Betts. We do that. And then we have, you guys have,
Whiplash.
yeah, thank you.
Whiplash.
Seeing if you knew, Module 11, the Whiplash Injury Trauma Analysis and Treatment course.
Yeah.
And
We
then
help
we
with
have,
that a little bit.
yeah, you help with that, and Joe helps with that. I'll tell you, this last week you didn't help with it.
Well, you didn't ask me to come out, so I'm just saying.
Yeah. And then the 7th course for the advanced is the annual. Okay, so you have 7 extra courses. Now there's a 15th course that we want you to take, but I decided not to put that in the advanced certification because I can't control and don't have a list of who's taken it and who hasn't. And it's not necessarily my program. It's mirror image bracing from Scully Care, Dr. Jeb McAvini, and Rose, who is working on her PhD. She's going to be a doctor here pretty soon. She's a PT, but she's about to be a PhD. Rose Marquesi, or excuse me, that's her, her former name. I can't remember her new, that was her married name. I can't remember her maiden name. Damn it. Anyway, she's going to be mad. Let's just call her Rose. So anyway, I removed module 15 out of the Diplomate because I can't track that. So
Morenzi, Rose Morenzi.
Morenzi, yeah.
That's her maiden name.
There it is. Yeah. So, and you can tell she's Italian. Can I buy an I at the end? There it is. Right. So that's how I'm going to remember that. So anyway, the 14 courses, general and advanced certification, that's part of the Diplomate. So the other thing, so what I've been doing before I get into the final part of it, I just want you to know I had to remove module 15. I have no way to control who took it, when they took it, etc. I can't do that.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but I love Jeb. I love Scully Care. I love the Scully brace. It's 100%. I mean, it's needed, right? And I strongly encourage people to take it, but it's not a true CBP course, right? So what I've been doing is filming these. I had 5 of the 6 that I could film for general certification. You go, well, Deed, there's 7. Why are you saying 6? Hold on. So I had 5 of the first 6 general certification modules on there. I didn't have module 3. So early this month, I finished shooting the entire module 3 course, updated it with some contemporary information. And it's about a 12-hour program. So I filmed all that. It'll be on WebEx under CBP and my profile as module 3, and I'll launch that out, but that's part of the Diplomate. And the reality of it is modules 1 through 6 can be taken on WebEx. So you don't have to take them live, even though I think live is better.
Yes.
But you can take them online through WebEx Academy. And then people go, what about module 7? I'm like, hey, we just talked about it. It's hands-on. You are never going to get to do that online. It's called hands-on for a reason. And I can't be there to test you watching other people do the work. You know what I mean?
Right.
Exactly.
So 6 of those are online and you can take them. And I'm having to restructure my page. Dave at WebEx is funny because he's like, well, Deed, we don't have that. And I go, I told you needed this. So I'm special. I need my own page on WebEx Academy. Because right now it's just search. And when you search it, it shows up. No, I need the drdeed.com CBP.
Yeah. And by the way, let's clarify. It's web exercises. So people that are, everybody knows it. Yeah.
WebExercisesacademy.com.
Yes.
It's not webexercises.com. You have to have academy in there. Right. So anyway, we're restructuring that system. So the page is there. and all the CBP modules show up as a package. So it'll show the general certification package. It's not done yet, but it will be. So I've been working on this whole process with Dave and Misty and their team. So then you have the advanced courses, right? So I'm trying to film those. Those haven't been done yet, but I just finished today, just today.
Wow. That's
Module.
big.
Yeah. That's, if I look a little
Yeah.
tired, I just finished module 11, the whiplash trauma course. And because Joe Betts is local, I didn't have to fly him in.
Yeah, I see
You
the
know?
love, Jason. You know, we don't get the love to come teach what we normally teach. You know, he brings in
Yeah.
the locals. I see.
Yeah, I'm trying to respect everybody's time.
I've
And
just Josh, and yeah, Joe Betts is amazing and knows more than I do
Yeah.
on the topic.
so I turned into both of you. I did your sessions, and
Okay, we're gonna judge. We're
And
gonna judge.
this course is long. I think it's going to end up being 14 hours
My
Wow.
gosh.
because
Wow.
there's so much information, right? So I just did module 11, but I have 5 more of the advanced courses to shoot. Right.
And by the way, too, as a little teaser, Deed, it probably, since I wasn't there to supervise him, I'm sure he reviewed the newer methods of instability analysis that he has documented that pretty much none of you have seen.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
that's a teaser, because I think we've only taught it maybe once or maybe twice, really, one time complete. And it'll be in the next version of Posture that we're releasing. And it's really a game changer on how you
Yeah.
look at instability, for sure.
And you're going to be mad at me because there's a subtle update that I need to do on only the neutral static lateral cervical. It's
Okay.
because
Okay. I'll catch up with you and get you on the record
Yeah.
this weekend.
Just to let you know, because I shot this course and the whole time I was throwing you under the bus. It was hilarious to me. I was laughing on camera because I'm like, well, this is the old system before Joe knew what I know. And
Yeah.
do you see how it flags this at 12 degrees? That's wrong. And,
Yeah.
Joe just didn't know any better back then.
Wait
So when
until
went through your
I got a couple
cases- yeah.
I got a couple
Oh, yeah.
podcasts that I think we're gonna have to do, Jason. I think we're gonna have to make up on this
Well, we're going to have to
without Deed.
because my portion of the presentation was a beautiful peer-reviewed paper, a huge retrospective sample size that was literally written, ready to go. And because of this new information, the paper's obsolete and I have to redo the whole thing.
Yeah. Or we can still publish it, Jason. Here's the thing. Because of this gray area, I did not give that lecture because we need to figure out how to incorporate it into the other part of the Diplomate that we haven't talked about yet. And so you'll give that lecture, but it won't be part of module 11. It'll be part of what I'm calling the true Diplomate, meaning it's not the CBP modules. So, I mean, explain what I mean by this. We have the advanced modules. Let me tell you, the one module that can't be filmed is module 14 of the advanced. I'm not doing that. That's the annual. You have to come there as a doctor. You have to come there and present your case report as part of the requirement for advanced certification. We're not allowing you to watch that and get credit because you have to be there and participate.
Yeah, you got to show up.
Module 14 won't be online, but then let me tell you the one problem I'm having that I haven't gotten a resolution to yet is Dr. Dan Murphy sometimes isn't a big fan of me filming his course, Posture Neurology and Systemic Health. So I have to convince Dan to allow me to film him doing the entire 12-hour course, which he usually only does like an 8 or 9 hour, and he cuts things out. So I need him to film the whole 12-hour course. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to fly my videographer to his home and set it up to where we can film Dan to make it's available online. And, there'll be, perks for Dan for allowing me to do that. But I think I can convince him to do it. He's a super great mentor. He's like a father figure to me, and I'll just tell him it's the way it's going to be. So, and he's old. You just tell old people what to do.
Yeah.
Right. So He's in his 70s now, so it's like,
I
Dan, you're too old to make an
I
opioid.
I think I'm gonna clip this part right here
No, I
and go
want you
ahead
to show it to him.
and send it to, Dan.
Yeah. So the cool thing is 12 of the 14 modules by summertime should be online at webexercisesacademy.com. And you'll see it bundled. And if you don't want to do the whole program, I don't care. You'll be able to click on the general certification package and you can select which one. Right? You can do them all, or you can do one. It's up to
And,
you.
and I think it's really important though, because I mean, people come in and take our seminars in person. It's, if nothing else, it's a great way to do reviews on it, because when you're in person, sometimes the information is thrown at you so fast that this is a very good review process to be able to do,
Yeah.
for sure.
And you can get CE credits for most states allow online licensure, and we have that ability on WebEx. You just have to look and see which states they have approved, et cetera. So then the beautiful thing about, I want people to take them online, but you guys know, again, it's like people don't want to travel. So our frustration is, I want to be able to do a workshop at the CBP week long. I want to do it 2 or 3 times a year. It doesn't fill up. So we do it once a year for the general certification and once a year for the advanced, because there's a lot of people that don't want to travel.
Mhm.
So I decided to just bite the bullet and put it online. And the beautiful part is it's an independent test. I'm not testing them. You're not testing them. We've written the test questions, which are scientific. They come from the CBP certification program test. And every course, every module has 25 questions minimum.
Mhm.
So if you did the 6 tests online, you have 150 questions you have to pass with 70%,
Mhm.
or it doesn't allow you to get credit for it. So the test, if you did it all online, you're certified, with the exception of you still have to take the hands-on module 7. And the same is true for the advanced certification package. The advanced certification package has the test inside of it at 25 minimum questions every course. So 150 questions,
Mhm.
but you have to come to the annual and take it before you're truly advanced certified, and you have to present your case study.
Mhm.
And that's,
100%.
yep. And you cannot achieve advanced certification until you've taken the general certification too. So just let's say you do it ass backwards. Some people do. They do the advanced week first, or they do the advanced courses. Well, great. You are not advanced certified until you also take the general certification first 7 courses. But,
Mhm.
the reality of it is you would have passed with a 70% accuracy 300 test questions
Mhm.
and done a case study, a case
Mhm.
report out of your office on CBP. That's a pretty robust program, but that's not enough for the diplomate, right?
Yep.
Okay, so then the third tier, so we have general, we have advanced, and now we have the diplomate. Each tier requires you to do the previous tiers. And
Yes.
I hope that makes sense. I don't care what order you take them in. I've decided you're going to see it's not available yet. So nobody should go and, oh, indeed, I can't find this on Web Exercises Academy. I go, well, no shit. You can't find it because it's not there yet.
Yep.
So anybody out there that tries to look, just listen carefully. It ain't on there yet. So, but what you will see eventually is the general certification package, the advanced certification package, and then you'll see the diplomate program. Well, those are the 3 tiers. They each depend on each other, but they're separate. Okay, so the diplomate program is all or none. You can't go in there and just sign up for one of the mini presentations. No, you have to click on it, and it'll just have a description of it. And the description is, here's what it is. It's 300 peer-reviewed research papers covering different aspects of chiropractic biophysics, from biomechanics to neurology to clinical trials to case studies to reliability, everything we've done. I've selected 300 out of 380 that we have. Okay. Because we could keep going. We could make it 400 papers, but I picked 300, and each paper has a number that I assigned it based on a category. So you have to read the publication, the formal publication. You then have to watch a video of me. Usually it's me. Once in a while it's not me, but most of the time it's me because that's what I'm doing. I'm filming these. I call them short research presentations, but short to me is 30 minutes. Some of the longer ones take me a little longer, like 45 minutes, and some of the review articles take up to an hour. So you have to read the paper, watch the video of me presenting the key aspects and ideas of the paper for those that aren't readers. And then you have to answer 10 questions about that publication and about the presentation. And you have to get 7 out of 10. And they're professional level questions. Some of them are easy, some of them are intermediate. And there's a couple that are like, ooh, you're going to have to go back to the paper, maybe. You know what I mean? And you have to do each paper in order, the order that I selected before you even start the second one. The system won't allow you. So you can't start with paper 300. It doesn't allow it. And you can't start with 1 and jump to 10. It doesn't allow it. So you have to go in order. And once you complete all 300, you're done with the Diplomate program. And the test is built in because each short course has 10 questions that you have to answer 70% accurate before you move to the next. So you would have answered a minimum of 2,100 correct questions. I don't think there's another program at that level like that at all. I know for a diplomate that your test is 3,000 questions that you have to get a 70% on.
I'm really impressed, and I wasn't sure where you're going to go with the diplomate part, but you've made the research review portion even more robust than the initial design. And I'm imagining the 300 questions were built with the study design that you and Tad and the original team, your dad, put together, which is how can we study what's abnormal if we don't know what normal is, and following the progression of the study outline of the papers to get you to the end where we understand some of the recent systematic reviews and RCTs.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm not done with the exact flow. So I'm playing around, and this is the stumbling block too right now. I'm trying to develop just this. I'm not going to start with you reading randomized trials.
Right.
And I'm not going to start with you reading case studies. You're going to read the background papers first.
Yes.
You're going to read the spine models.
Yes.
You're going to read the X-ray reliability studies. You're going to read the background ideas of the technique. And then you're going to go into the clinical outcomes studies. So you're going to have to follow a process with me. And then the cases are going to be structured such that it's not just going to be a spattering. It's going to be cervical cases, thoracic cases, lumbar cases. And then when we talk about our systematic reviews, at the end of the cervical cases, you'll get the systematic review and you get to read that. So there's a really unique structure to the flow as compared to you just randomly reading 300 papers.
Right. Right. Just reading Joe Ferrantelli's papers, for example.
Well, those are the only ones that are really important anyway.
Right.
But
I think he's part of the 82 that I excluded.
Oh yeah, probably. But hey, no, seriously, this is pretty amazing, Deed. All kidding aside, this is I mean, I don't have a master's degree, but this has to be on the par of really having a master's or even more in the grand scheme of knowledge. You know what you have to do.
So I'm going to touch on that in a sec too as ideas, but I just want everybody to know I put a number on this program of hours when you count the first 7 modules of CBP and then the next 7 modules, so the advanced program, including your case study, and then this Diplomate program, it's a minimum of 500 hours. So I'm going to now, originally I said 420. That's not true. It's now a 500-hour program. But even that's not true, because I'm betting that people are going to be a little slower than I am. So like I've done a few sample averages of me doing it. Well, I can't, I'm breaking the curve, because I read papers really fast and I can watch the video and I already know it because I read the paper and I gave it. So it's cheating. So I'm finishing the average paper in less than an hour. And by the paper, I mean doing the paper and the video at the same time. I'm weird. I can read and listen at the same time, or I might listen to key things and then go through it. And, for me to do it, it's less than an hour for everyone. It's probably going to take the average person a little longer, but it's a 500-hour program. And I believe that will qualify in the future for a master's of science. And I've been discussing that with a couple universities to turn this into a master's of science course as well, which there would be one extra requirement, and that would be you have to do your thesis.
Right.
So all the coursework for the diplomate would be appropriate, but then through a university, you'd have to do a master's thesis, right? So that's in the works too. But for right now, I mean, this is an incredible, robust program. And, it's like, why is it not done? Well, oh my God, man. I did start. I looked back. I exaggerated to people like every man exaggerates. I mean, and you guys, and I'm talking about when I catch a fish.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Talking about the size of
The
that.
antler size.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. The size of the buck or the size of the trout. It's always bigger. So I thought I had done 100 because it felt like I did 100. I only did 60. So I've done 60 of these.
Yeah.
So I have 240 more to film. Well, you got to picture, I got to take that publication and turn it into a professional lecture that makes sense and that I can give you insights, and I have to be familiar with it all. So I'm creating these presentations as I go, and I am getting assistance. I have a new virtual assistant that's helping me. I don't know how efficient they are yet. We'll find out. But my goal is to have all these done by the annual and have this program ready at the annual. Yeah, and that means the diplomate part. The modules will totally be done. The first 6 are already done. They're done. Misty has module 3. I just filmed it. She's going to get module 11. So in between, I'm shooting these other modules too. So you'll be able to do advanced and general certification on WebEx, but then you'll be able to log in and do the diplomate. And before you get credit, the certificate of a diplomate approved degree or status, if you will, certificate with ICA, CBP, and hopefully Life University, you have to go through the whole program.
Right.
Yes.
So, here's the thing. It's like, what's that worth? I had a hard time deciding the value of that, right? To me, it's invaluable, but everything has a number. So I had to look at other diplomates, and the online only program, I set it at $50 an hour. So the diplomate program of this research videos and articles and building the education, at 300 hours, and it's probably more, but it's $15,000 is what I set that fee at. Right. And you guys understand this, but I don't want the audience out there to be in shock when they hear me.
Yeah, but
say
what
it for-
does a school, I mean, think about how many hours if you were to take it in a university.
Yeah.
What would it cost you to do that? I mean, literally for a master's degree, because that's basically what it's going to turn out to,
Yeah.
what would it cost?
Yeah. And the reality of it is, look, it's not the Deed Harrison CBP
Right.
industry. It's I I have a fee to the ICA. I have a fee to Life University. WebEx is hosting this whole thing. And I mean, that platform is very robust. If something goes down, they have to fix it.
Do you mean
So
it's not free? Technology's not free to make, Deed? Is that what you're
oh,
saying?
right. And people want free education, and I've decided that I can't give this away for free because the cost of doing
Right,
professional video shooting, I didn't want it to just be me at home with my, MacBook.
right.
It's I'm sitting in front of cameras and lights, and my eyes are getting irritated. And Joe Betts did 4 hours for me Saturday, and he's like, "Good God!" And I'm like, "Yeah, how many did you do this week, Dito? I did 40." So
Yeah,
it's like it's a different game. It's not like a seminar. You guys know that I
right,
don't shut up. I don't shut up. Obviously, I can do a 10-hour lecture day, no problem. I cannot do that when I'm shooting these in front of a camera.
right,
About 4 or 5 hours a day is my limit. So that creates a challenge. On some days I've stretched it, and then I just am mentally just done. But that's what I've been working on. The CBP ICA Diplomate Program, and uh, I'm super excited by it. I mean, I think it's going to be incredibly well done. And the last thing, CBP nonprofit gets a percentage too,
yeah,
because it's all CBP nonprofit research. And the way it works, in order for me to actually share that information out, that because I own those articles too, as a copyright holder. But if I do it through the nonprofit, I can give you access to those. So while you're doing the program, for I'm giving people 2 years initially to complete the program when they sign up for just the Diplomate, the 300 hours. And part of the fee goes to CBP nonprofit for those 2 years. So CBP nonprofit gets 2 years of annual dues, for everybody that signs up for the program. So, and it's not your choice. You don't get a choice with it.
right,
So somebody, well, I want a reduced fee because I don't want to be a member of CBP nonprofit. Doesn't matter. You have no choice. Because if you're going to be a CBP diplomate, you have to believe in CBP nonprofit, because that's the engine behind the research, right? So, the fee is really, it's interesting when you do the math on this, and then how much I paid the videographer and how many screw ups I've done, and pretty much need 100 people to break even.
Well,
Eh,
I'm glad you're excited about this. I'm really excited. My gosh, I bet Joe Betts is stoked that this is rebooting.
yeah,
Joe Betts worked incessantly on his side of things as an ICA board member for this to be something that the ICA agreed to do and support. And also Don Hirsch. I mean, they worked their tails off. This happened under Steve Welsh's presidency. So um, better late than never.
yeah,
And I've been wondering why you're so hard to reach. Now I know, right? It's
yep,
been top secret.
yep,
yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's, I'm okay. Like I'm good for this. It's just, I'm getting myself trained into this. I've only been doing it for 30 days now. And on my day off is not really a day off. So usually I'm filming a couple hours on Sunday because the videographer's a young kid. He's a friend of my oldest son, Aiden, and he likes the money. And I'm his primary independent contractor. So almost 7 days a week we're doing something. And then on the other days and the other times, I'm preparing the content, right?
hmm
So, and you guys, my thing to you is I would love for you guys to present your own papers too. And so, if we, because it sucks to listen, even though you said I'm your favorite instructor, it sucks to listen to 300 hours of your favorite instructor. And I totally get it, man. I'm tired of listening to me too, right? Even on this podcast, I'm done. Tired of listening. It's like, dude, shut the hell up. But it you guys are going to have to fly here because it's hard for me to fly the videographer to your place and then it doesn't look the same. And, I have to have it look the same.
Yeah, and
Right.
obviously we're gonna need your mentorship on how to structure how we take the work that we've been co-authors on and turn it into, like you said, 4, 6, 8, 12 hours, whatever. How to structure it into a lecture and not be done in 5 minutes and not take 2 hours when it should have been 1.
Yeah. So your research presentation will be a paper and they're only going to be 30 to 45 minutes in length.
Mhm.
I'll prepare the PowerPoint presentation for you. I'm
Good.
not going to guys do it on your own because I've got a certain format I need to follow where there's intro, there's methods, there's results, discussion, conclusion. And so we really extracting the key data out. So I'll prepare that for you, which is really nice. You just have to, it's your paper, you'll know it, but you'll have to review my PowerPoint and you'll give it like it's yours. And then nobody will know unless they listen to this podcast that I designed your PowerPoint.
Well, it is. I mean, as far as that, you teach some of my papers better than I even remember them now at this point, Deed. If that's a running joke because you asked me about this, I'm like, I don't remember.
Yeah, it's just the research is incredibly important. It's just who I am with CBP. So it sticks in my mind more than it sticks in anybody else's mind, even if I wasn't the lead author on the paper. Right.
Right. Exactly.
Well, gentlemen, co-hosts, we are approaching our time.
Yes. This one's been a little longer one, which is good. But I mean, there's so
Yeah.
much good information. Because you got to think this was 8 years in the making, right? So
Yeah.
this is
And
really good. Your
hey,
dad would be so happy about this, Deed.
I am going to launch it at the CBP annual.
Yes.
So
You heard it here. He
Yep.
is going to launch it at the CBP annual in 2026.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for getting me that. So I might have to delay the date of the annual till October.
Yeah.
So, but here's the deal. It may not be 100% done. It will be 100% ready for you to begin.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
I'll have at least 2/3 of the content ready to go. And then we're giving you 2 years to complete it. And if you don't do it inside 2 years, you just have to ask for an extension.
Yep. Yep.
That's all.
This is-
And you'll be able to, again, I want you to know, under this new WebEx page of mine, you can do Dr. Deed, you can do CBP, chiropractic biophysics, clinical biomechanics of posture, whatever name you type in is going to come up, and you'll see 4 categories. And this is the last thing I'll say. And the 4 categories will be, well, do you want the general certification? Do you want advanced certification? Do you want the diplomate, which they all 3 depend on each other, but you can start any one of them at any time, right? You don't get advanced until you've completed the basic, right? And you don't actually get the diplomate certificate until you complete general and advanced. Well, there's a 4th category that's going to confuse the heck out of people that I decided to remove from the diplomate program. It was a lot of my mini lectures and some of the things that you've done, Jason, and some of the things that you've done, Joe. It was just too much.
Right.
And so I put those under. It was funny. Misty and I came up with a name for the box that'll be on my page. I'm like, well, everybody wants to get into Dr. Deed's pants, so let's call it Dr. Deed's shorts.
Literally the shorts. Yeah, like the YouTube short.
It's the short courses. So whatever, you can take those for CE, whatever, right? They're on different topics. Maybe you don't want to take a module. Maybe you don't want to do the diplomate, but maybe you want to learn just a little bit about CBP. So I threw that in there. So that's what I've been doing.
I love it. Let's do a call to action and a challenge as we wrap up. So we're putting a big emphasis on the first 100 registrants in 2026. And it is going to launch this year at the CBP annual. This is an ICA diplomate. And what's this year? What's the anniversary of the ICA this year?
Yeah, it's
It's the 100th anniversary.
100th anniversary.
Yeah. So I wonder if there could be something on the first 100 diplomate certificates, and maybe it'd be the first 98 since 2 have already been issued. First going to our mentor and leader and your father, Dr. Don Harrison, and the second one going to you, Deed. I wonder if there could be a special 100th anniversary badge. We can talk about that and figure that out, but what a cool call to action.
Oh, I
Yeah.
think that'd be absolutely amazing because 100 for 100,
Yeah.
right? And here's the thing, guys, and I'm just going to say this before we close. You know, these podcasts are important. We're going to keep doing them, and we'll do one next week, and we'll maybe get a guest on, etc. But nobody's going to get grandfathered in. Unfortunately, you guys, I mean, it sucks to be you because you're going to have to take the course, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason my late father got grandfathered in because he pioneered all this work and he's deceased, right? But for me, why am I grandfathered in?
Well, you wrote most of the studies.
Well, yeah, I did the whole course and program, so somebody's got to be a diplomate to start. So I already did it. I want you to know I already did it. I've done it.
Yep.
But especially when they're all done, I would have done the program. So my challenge is to everybody, including the CBP instructor team, you got to work through it too.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn it.
It's fine. We're all workers, so we're leading from the front. We're leading by
Yeah.
example.
Exactly. Cool.
All right,
well,
fellas.
Yeah.
that's
good
all I
one.
had to say.
That's it.
Yeah.
500 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I tell you, it's a long time in the making, indeed. I appreciate everything that you're doing for it, and it's going to make a difference. It's going to make a difference ultimately to the patients. You know, the doctors that come out that truly understand this, they won't have to fly to the instructors to get the same level of care because by the time they've done this, those doctors will be proficient. They really will be.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, gentlemen. Well, we'll see you all Thursday, Friday for the hands-on workshop.
Yes.
Sounds great.
Awesome,
Thanks,
guys. Bye-bye.